Three, two, one.
Good morning. Today is Friday, December 11th. I'm Jurgen, and this is Talent Talk, but I am not alone. I have a co-host with me today. Her name just happens to be Davina Clarity.
Good morning. You are not alone. I am here with you. And happy Friday.
Happy Friday. You know what? I also have to say, even though we're going to, well, you know what? May as well just do this right off the front because you know what? There is a birthday today, and that birthday happens to be, or not today, tomorrow, Jake Diatley from our Olympia office.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Mr. Diatley.
And also, my sister, Candy, is celebrating a birthday today. So, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Candy.
Yeah.
Oh, any birthday celebrations going on?
You know what? I'm sure something, but
You're not the part of the planning committee. I know, Jurgen.
I am not a part of
where to go and what to do, right?
It's welcome to 2020, or actually, hopefully, we are very soon saying goodbye 2020. Good to know you.
Yeah. So maybe a drive-by, who knows? Anyway, so yeah, excited that we've got. It's a great weekend, sunshine. I know since the last time we met up, with Talent Talk, we had the governor came on, and we've got a little bit of an extension in of our restrictions through the new year. So happy new year, right? Is this a goodbye 2020? Okay,
Yeah. Nothing unexpected though, right?
No, not at all. And you know what? The thing is take it, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So
I was going to say fork and a knife, but yeah, maybe a little fire.
One bite. No, it is what it is. And we just have to go with the flow. So
absolutely. Well, we got a packed little day here with our market update. What we try to do is just bring you some good news, or at least the news of what's going on inside of the market. We try to focus in on somewhat local, so you understand what's happening, give you a little bit of context, and maybe clarity on what is happening. But we always start off with talking about any new listings we've got going on and any open houses, which in this case is virtual open houses. So, Davina, do you have our first listing?
Yeah, let's get it started. So I've got a new listing that just came on today. And actually, this is my listing. It's at 7810 64th Street Court West in University Place. It is a beautiful, beautiful home. It would take me too long to explain, but it is across, it's in a neighborhood just across from Charles Wright Academy. Amazing, close to Chambers Bay. It's just about 2,200 square feet. It's got a gazebo. It's got a zip line in the backyard. It's got a green belt. It's, a ton. It's going to be open virtually Saturday, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Amanda Rainey is going to be hosting that virtual open. It's listed at $579. You must come take a look. It's not going to last long.
That actually looks like a beautiful home.
It is.
And then our next one is from Gideon Epistola out of our DuPont office. This listing is in Kent. It's at 22844 134th Avenue Southeast in Kent. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2150 in the square footage, and nearly a half acre on the lot size in Kent. That's fantastic. Great price, $685. And it is a tri-level home. It has new flooring. It has RV parking. This thing is, you know what? You definitely need to go check this one out.
Right on. Okay, we actually have a good number of new listings on the market. And we have one now, Kasha Mesa, out of our DuPont office, just listed this huge little charmer. 4417 South Alaska Street in Tacoma. It is a 2-story, 4-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1762 square feet. It was built in 1912, and it's been completely updated, complete kitchen remodel, updated bathroom, new wiring, plumbing, new roof, gutters, new patio. It's got a ton of upgrades and modernized. So you definitely want to check this one out. Listed at $375.
That's fantastic. And then our next one in Tenino, Cheryl Pierce from our Lacey office is wow, this is great. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's located at 14940 Old Highway 99 Southeast in Tenino. Again, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2682 on the square footage, and 5 acres, just a shade over 5 acres of land. It's a magnificently spacious DJ Hartman built 1-owner home, impeccably maintained. It has a ton of updates, upgrades. Look at the pictures. It's just gorgeous. You should definitely check this home out. Look at the listing. It's going to be great.
That is beautiful. We have another one, really nice home in a well-established neighborhood, Horizon Point, 6032 Balustrade Boulevard Southeast. I don't even know if I pronounced that name right. But Scott,
I think you got it.
I know. Scott Hollis out of our Lacey office has this one listed, and it's a 2-story, 1638 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, covered or 2-car garage. It's definitely move-in ready. It's got bamboo floors, quartz counters, a large utility room, 5-piece bath, listed at $375. It's a great price for our market right now. That one's going to go really quick.
Yeah, and we don't see enough of these type of units come up either. This is Jennifer Maldonado from our DuPont office, has a condo at 2818 60th Lane Southeast. It's Unit D in Olympia. It is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1088 is the square footage, and lot size says 5,646. But really, this community is on 10 acres. It's quiet, peaceful. It's the vineyard community, trees, natural grass, or natural grass. Natural views is what I meant to say. Vaulted ceilings. Again, you should definitely check this out. Priced at $212,000. Fantastic.
Wow, that's great. In Arizona or in the desert, natural grass would probably be appropriate, but
Yeah.
Here's one of note. It's a very special home, listed by Scott Hollis out of our Lacey office, 7438 Trowbridge Road Southeast. This is an exceptional home, a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 5-car garage. Nearly 3,800 square feet on over a 5-acre lot. It's got high-end finishes, chef's kitchen, heated floors. It's got a Japanese garden. It's got a private soccer field, a mother-in-law suite, RV parking. I mean, this is literally a special estate style retreat, whatever you want to call it. It's amazing. And so anyway, it is on the market. I believe it is back on the market. You definitely want to take some time to go out and check this out. It is listed at $939,000. And again, beautiful home with some amazing luxury finishes.
Very nice. And then wrapping it up here, we have the Village at Mill Pond. It is Olympia's finest community. We have our sales team out there during this time. You just need to schedule an appointment. You can schedule that appointment pretty close to on the spot. And it has, if you haven't checked it out, again, I highly, highly recommend going out there, set an appointment, just see the quality. It's a beautiful community that is being set up. It's going to have a community center, which you can see in the lower right corner there, a little bit of business. It's really a full community. So check it out. Mill Pond, the Village at Mill Pond.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. So this is what's going on in our neck of the woods. So that is what's going on in our neck of the woods. And so we are going to Also, right now, it's time for us to talk about just an update. We've got some numbers and stats and averages on what's going on in our communities overall. So let's take a look at that.
Absolutely. This is good information. So what we do is we just kind of go, I'm not going to call it around the globe, but we go around the state. At least we look at Thurston County, Pierce County, King County, look at Mason and Lewis, kind of this central little area, and see what's been happening. These are the numbers from November, this past month, of what happened inside of the market. There's some key indicators that you'll see in highlights. David, do you want to take Thurston County first? You want me to lead?
I can see it. Here we go. So, yeah. So basically, some of the things, just like you said, key indicators. What's going on? Pending sales. We're looking at from November of last year to November of this year. So between 2020 and 2019, percentage of pending sales are up by 12.9%. Closed sales are up by 10.8%. And days on the market are down, oh my goodness, 51.7% compared to last year. So last year, November, homes were staying on the market average of 29 days. This year, 14 days, cut in nearly more than half. The median sales price, check this out, just from November to November, $350 last year, $389 this year, up 11%. So the median is if you just take the middle number, pluck it out from all the listings that were on. Now, if we look at average sales price, if you take all the numbers and you divide them by the price and the number of homes that there are, then that is 367 last year, 425 this year, up 15.7%. Wow. So what a seller's market. And the percent of list price received. So, understanding things are going quickly, 102.3% list price received. So everything on average is going over list year to year. And the inventory of homes, because we're down 64%, and there's 0.4 month supply of inventory. We're down 60% inventory. We are at again, in extreme. We almost can't get any shorter. We have less than 2 weeks of inventory on the market right now.
Yeah.
I didn't go over to the year to date, but again, kind of the same numbers are flowing year to date through the beginning of the year, 2019 to the end of November from 2019 and 2020. Again, nearly 12%, 11.7, 11.9 on those median and average sales prices. They're up, and 101.6, almost 102% over list. So,
yeah, and the one thing kind of on the highlight here is, even though our closed sales have steadily been coming up, and when we look at the year over year in November, it was well above or a bit above the previous year. But still, year to date in Thurston County, we're just a bit below on the number of closed sales from the year prior. But our volume, as far as the dollar figure, has gone up because of the appreciation. And then Pierce County tells pretty close to the same tale. You can see the new listings are up November 2019 to November 2020, this past month. Pending sales are up. Closed sales are up. Closed sales are up fairly significantly by 18.9%. Days on market have gone down pretty radically there too. The appreciation, you see that appreciation. It's one thing when we see that median at 445. But then when we see the average sales price for Pierce County being at just a shade under 500,000, that tells you things are really, really moving. Percent list price, I think this is exactly what we saw with Thurston County, 102.3. And then the inventory of homes, that is down. This is one of those key drivers. We talk about interest rates, but also the inventory has just been so low. Look how much less. Last year in November, there were 1,394 homes on the market. This year, 598. And that leaves a half month of supply of inventory. And then when we look across to the year to date, same story you told on Thurston County, but that key there is still year to date, we don't have as many homes sold as we did, at least as far as the numbers, but definitely the volume is up there, right?
Yeah, it has to do with the shortage of homes on the market. We don't have as many homes on the market as a whole, but what's coming on is going fast. Excuse me, is going fast, and so that's why we're seeing that lower percentages on the overall from year to over year.
For sure.
So we'll go into King County. And King County looks a little bit different, but again, we're just shifting in the price point. So new listings, again, 29.3% month over month from 2019 to 2020 for November. Again, pending sales are up, closed sales are up. Days on the market are down, and we go into that 650 or excuse me, up over that $500,000 price range. The median sale price from last year to this year is up 12.5%. An average sales point price up 14.2. But look at the average sales price. Last year, 800 in November of last year to 914 in November of this year. Wow. And again, look at even in those higher price points, and which are really the leading numbers in the King County market, 102% over list. Inventory definitely still down 39.5%, and then month supply of inventory, we are still at that frenzy, only 0.7 months supply of inventory. So, gosh, that's probably what, about 3 weeks of inventory on the market. Oh man! And then looking over to the year to date, like you said, so 2.5%, of homes. So those numbers are a lot less, but again, that has to do with the number of homes.
No, actually, this one, King County, that's a plus.
That one actually. Oh yeah, that is a plus. I need to clean that. That spot of my glasses was covering it up. So. Wow. So yeah. So in King County, we do have a plus. So looking at closed sales, there are more closed sales last year than there were this year, November to November. And then median sales price again is up 7.4 and average up 7.6, and still overall percent of list price from beginning year to November is over almost 102%. So wow.
Yeah, the story feels very similar. I mean, they go across. We've been seeing a lot of the activity. We can track down where a lot of it comes from, between the mortgage interest rates, between the low inventory, just the things that have been going on with the pandemic, where people have been moving out of the maybe more metropolitan areas or the cities into more rural areas. So going over to Mason County, when we look at those same numbers, very similar. But even though like the days on market aren't significantly down in Mason County, you can see the closed sales. It's just a little bit, they don't have as many homes. You'll see people moving in and through, but you'll see that the appreciation is really significantly there. Think about this. Look at this. In Mason County, 278 last year on the average sales price, 366, nearly $100,000. And that's amazing of appreciation in Mason County on the average. Oops. And then 100.9. The inventory is so much lower though. Look at this, 68% down, and months of inventory 0.6. So year over year, or year to date, excuse me, we're just above in Mason County, plus 1.6%, but really right in line with what the number of closed sales were last year. You see with the year to date, the differences in the pricing, 18.6, 18.9, and then 100%. Overall, Mason County, and we're going to see here in Lewis County, are really strong. And we're seeing movement. We're seeing people move in, and they're moving out of different places. But as you saw with King County, that doesn't mean that there is an influx, right? It's still very busy.
Yeah. There's very heavy activity. And then as we move into Lewis County, very much again a similar look, but like actually skipping down, we've got the closed sales are up, the pending and closed days on market are down, pending close are up, median price obviously is up, but look at the average sales price. Wow, for month over month year over year from 2019 to 2020, just looking at November, 248.2 on the average sales price, 363.7. That is up 46%. It's what, almost $120,000 more on the average sales price. You could buy a house and a half almost. I mean, that's crazy. The numbers, that's just another testimony or testament to the inventory levels. Again, percent of list price received, very strong, 101.5%. Inventory is down, obviously month supply of inventory, but look at the month supply of inventory. It's down by half, but it's still at 1.3. You're laughing.
It sounds crazy to say only 1.3 months of inventory, because that is so fast still.
It is very fast. And then and we look at our closed sales. Our closed sales are actually up by almost 10%. So there is everything that's coming on the market. The market appears to be stronger than it was last year to date, even month over month. And then also looking at the median and average sales prices as well. If you look at the average sales prices from January to the end of November, even 276.5 to 319 is very strong as well. So, and overall percent of list price is 99.8%. So really, really edging on that 100%. So really good in our outlying, more rural counties. We are having really strong market activity.
Nice. So you know what? Overall, when we look at those numbers and we see what's happening there, it really just paints a picture, right? The year over year, or for the month, year over year, the wintertime is much busier this year than it was in 2019. But it doesn't necessarily mean there are more homes on the market, because there definitely are not more homes on the market. But the buyer activity and what's driving the activity is much more intense than it was last year. Based on that, we're seeing the raise in the number of contracts. We're seeing the raise in the number of or the amount of appreciation. But year to date, we're right in pace, at least for the numbers of last year. But the prices, because of appreciation, have definitely gone up. Launching into 2021, I think we'll probably have one more. We haven't even talked about this. I think we'll do probably one more before we end up hitting into Christmas and the New Year of these market updates. And next week might be a really good one. Just kind of give you our forecast into 2021. Bring in a couple of thoughts on what you should expect, because I'm sure you have questions, don't you? Don't you?
Don't you?
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot happening on things. And then, any takes off of that one for you, Davina?
Yeah, I think that we definitely, there's a lot of speculation that's going into 2021. And, we've also had our own speculations in regards to how COVID was going to have an effect, even as we went into this second kind of restriction phase of, is there going to be a pause? And we really haven't seen that, So there are some indicators and there are some predictions. Actually, and we'll share some of that with you next week. So just stay tuned. We definitely would like to share just some information that we've even been hearing from some of the economists that have given us information about what they're seeing and what they predicted prior that happened and what they're seeing happen now. So we'll share some info.
That's good. Okay. Well, then, you know what? Getting over to a couple of news items just to bring it in, and then we'll wrap it up, is first and foremost, the mortgage rates held steady at record low rates. So last week we saw a brand new low of 2.71% across the nation on average through Freddie Mac's recording. This week, it held steady, still at 2.71%. That is the lowest on record. The 15-year stayed at its low of 2.26%. And then CoreLogic, one of the leading industry sources in real estate, predicts 2021 will maintain its unprecedented home sales and record low rates as the economy continues to recover. And everybody sees a different spot within the economy. Inside of real estate, sometimes it's hard to we see the activity that's going on, and we know that there's been hesitations in the market and different challenges. But our industry really has kept going, and we've been able to serve a lot of people through this time. But the economy still is working through recovery as well. This is a little thing, a little chart just showing you from the beginning of the year, or from December of last year to December 10th of this year, what the mortgage rates look like. And you can see those average rates, they've just gone down. So it's nice. It's one thing to hear the numbers. It's another thing to kind of see the numbers and see what that is doing. So next week, we'll talk about a little more of what we see coming in and what other people are predicting coming into the new year too. This is from Lawrence Yoon, who is the chief economist for the NAR. This winter may be one of the best winters for sales activity. On a winter-to-winter comparison, this could be one of the best breakout years just based on the fact that penny contracts are at such a higher level. And this is buyers and sellers quickly jumped back into the market this week after taking a break during election week, according to Realtor.com's weekly housing report for the week ending November 14th. So we saw that return. We saw hesitation when everything was ramping up for the elections, but now we've seen a bit of a break and a release back into the cycle that we're in. This is a quick thing. This is from Keeping Current Matters, looking over to Realtor.com numbers. What you see at the beginning of this is February of this year. And then where you see this red line start was when we had the pandemic hit. We saw housing market really go down, the four components being supply, demand, price, and time on market within the housing. And we saw so much of it go down, but we've seen a very steady increase up. And you can see where we've ended up over here at the end of November, 112.8% of what this baseline at the start of February was, which is, say, 100% of. So we've really seen the recovery come around. But when we talked about the numbers where we saw some haven't on a year-to-date basis come all the way up, that's really a form and function of what happened right there at the start of the pandemic. And we'll talk a little more about that afterwards. Anything you see inside there, Davina?
No, just exactly what you said. And, one of the things too is just looking at, overall real estate and where we are now versus where we were in the beginning. And even looking at, when I say in the beginning, even before, when we had that first crash of our market and the recession back in the 2009, we're really not pacing far off from where we actually should be. So things look kind of crazy with that big V. But when you take the whole picture, it's not really as crazy.
Not at all. No, it's good. And this is a strong, housing has been one of the industries that's been able to help pull the economy through. So, I mean, really happy to be able to participate inside of real estate and be a part of that recovery. Mm-hmm. So actually something kind of fun. So we've got two things to kind of wrap up in here. And one of them is, all right. So Realtor Magazine, the link is inside there. A myriad of home trends to gain momentum in 2021. This may be, it's always fun when we talk about forecasting forward on things, right? Because we don't necessarily know, but we try to see. So Realtor Magazine has this put together. The very first one, there are 10 of them plus a bonus one. The first one is a 2-for-1 kitchen. I don't know that I had heard of what a 2-for-1 kitchen, but if you look at the picture, you can see that there is a front-facing kitchen, and then there's a wall, and then there's an area behind it. And that is kind of a prep area. It's so that you have so many open concept homes that in the front area, that can be all open concept. It can be clean, neat, tidy. And then in the back, that's where you do all the prep work, all the busyness and messiness is contained and out of sight. That's an interesting concept. You've got outdoor heaters and more. So people are doing more and more outside. So they're really looking at their outdoor space and figuring out what they can do to make the best use of it and be more at home. You have prefabricated flex sheds. And my wife would love a she shed. One of those things where it could be her area. People are looking at that space in the backyard and trying to figure out more uses that they can put in there and be able to really utilize all that they have. Video conferencing in the living rooms, of course, we know with all of the online schooling, all the things that are going on, more remote working, finding ways of being able to use that whole space to really communicate with people. You can see like a camera over here, zooming, and being able to do all of this right inside your living room. Warmer palettes and design materials. So at least in this area, they're saying the grays are out. We've had strong grays, contemporary, everything else. Now it's back to warmer colors like sea foam, soft greens, sea salt, shoji, breathless, more neutral tones. So that is good. I like warmer colors, honestly. New multifamily amenities. So in a case like this, trying to find those areas, like we even talked about the flex shed type things, where the family can get together, whether this might be a place where people start to do podcasts or other things, or in a case like this, maybe a band room, a singing, trying to find ways to draw the family together and give you things to do. Grander staircases, because that's the wow factor when somebody might walk into your home. It's about the aesthetic, and since we are doing more from home, being able to just feel great when you're there. New suburbia, as people are moving out to more suburban areas, being able to build those out to increasing walk scores, giving people more to do. It is a revitalization, if you will, of those suburban things, so that we continue to grow out and give people a way to live together. Resilient landscapes. This is kind of looking across the U.S. There have been areas where there have been flooding or different types of natural disasters or such. Having landscaping that is more resistant to floods, like with pumps, etc., or building things up, just being able to look at the environment and really plan for more home living. And then the last one, which is not necessarily the last one because there's a bonus, but the last one is health-minded building certifications. So really looking at it to increase your health, to be more green or friendly to the environment. I think we understand what that is definitely about. And then the last one is a bonus trend that's out of this world, and it's colonizing Mars. Because of course we want to, right?
Go right on ahead.
All right. That's just kind of looking forward that just talking about what is on the horizon or what kind of building type of things could sustain in an environment that's not necessarily our own, but something a little different. It's kind of a little wacky, a little fun, a little different. All right.
I know the trips are being planned for those, people can just hop on a rocket or a space shuttle and take a voyage.
When you said that, in my mind, there was a show that they would play for the kids when they were young, Little Einsteins. That was like, we're going on a trip on our favorite rocket ship, going to the skies. Little Einsteins. No?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember that one. I'm lost now on a lot of those because I'm a Dora fan, actually.
What's that?
I said I'm a Dora fan.
Ah, I thought you were just trying to say I'm adorable.
Oh, oh gosh.
All right.
Yeah, with all of this, last talent talk that was it the last talent talk or the talk before the last? We had a guest on and we were talking about, it was a talent talk before last. just what was going on in the marketplace. We're talking about the rentals and the landlords, and the rules and laws that are in place. And the forbearance word came up, and so we will have an update on Monday in our talent talk. We will have a mortgage servicer on to talk to us about what forbearance is and how it's what effect it has, and who's needing forbearances, and are they really a big thing right now. So we'll actually talk a little bit more about that and be more enlightened on Monday.
Yeah. And I think I put the time wrong on the slide. I think it's 8:15, but it's typically about 8:20ish. So if you tune in right at 8:30, I bet we're actually getting into it right at that moment. But 8:15, and just in preparation for that, this is a slide again from Keeping Current Matters, which is great. It's the McDash Flash Forbearance Tracker. You can see at the start of the pandemic how many in the millions of people were in the forbearance, or they took advantage of the forbearance when it first became available. It was pretty high. And then as it has come down, or as the pandemic has kind of drug on, if you will, you see those forbearance numbers dramatically decreasing, which is a good sign. It means that people are getting healthier, even though sometimes, and what I mean by healthier is, well, first, hopefully it's health, but also financially healthier through this time. And that is shown in this, where people who had gone into forbearance and upon exiting at this time, 54.6% of people who entered forbearance are now actually paid in full. You can see the breakdown in green. 30.7 have a workout plan or have worked out a plan for repayment. There are only 14.7, and that's still a big number, but there's now only 14.7 that are still in trouble, that don't have a loss mitigation plan, or 1.9% on the repayment plan. So when we end up talking on Monday with our guest, we'll talk about what the impact of that might be, what we should look forward into. And then next week, again, we'll kind of give you our little forecast into 2021. Oh, there you go. What happened?
No, all good. So yeah, so I think this is going to wrap us up for today. Anything else? I know Christy's in the back keeping us all together. We've got our Salvation Army virtual JLS Kettle that's open. And we actually had a fun time Monday with our Captain Jared. Yes, what an amazing guy. And we're gonna do I keep saying ring the bells, but the running of the bells. I'm excited. We're just saying Jurgen's gonna lead a new thing next year. So
yeah. And if you didn't check it out, or if you didn't see it on Monday, look at our Facebook feed for the Salvation Army one that we just did this past Monday. Really good. The work that they do is phenomenal. We're happy to support it. And if you have anything that you're able to give, the need this year is so big. Our goal is to raise $5,000 for the Salvation Army. The link is right there. Christy's also got it in the comments. So thank you for the reminder, Christy.
Absolutely. All right. So I guess we can go on and wrap up. I know you've got the Seahawks. So we were talking earlier. You got the Seahawks going. I'm wearing red Friday, remembering the deployed. Jurgen's got the Seahawks blue. So we're blue and red today, but we're sharing all the love because it's all good. So
it's all love.
It's all love. It's all good. So, but yeah, here we are on another weekend. 2 more shopping weekends before Christmas. So see the Amazon trucks and the FedEx trucks and all those trucks, they're all those workers are on overtime and have been on overtime. And they talk about the post office is get your stuff out early because the post office is going to be overwhelmed this year with deliveries. And
just a quick little plug for local business where you can, try to support some of the local shops. This is really hitting our neighbors and friends pretty hard that are in retail businesses, just because of the way the restrictions that unfortunately understand what the intent of these restrictions are. It's just a very tough time of the year for these to be impacting so many families. So where you can, definitely try to support some local retail and businesses.
Yep. And I want to also add to that. When you say local retail and businesses, also remember the restaurants in that. And, there's no sit down eating. Think about our servers that aren't getting the tips that they completely rely on. So don't forget to, have a takeout day. If some of us are having too many takeout days, but have a takeout day. And have a takeout day, support your local restaurant. And then also don't forget to tip. A lot of times we're not tipping because we're like, okay, we're not getting service, but those workers are in there, they're packaging, they're delivering, and they're not getting the same, the same income that they would have had they been busing and serving in the restaurant. So don't forget to tip your people. Okay.
Okay.
That was a tip.
All right. Well, you know what? Time to wrap on up.
Yep.
So we always say when we're wrapping up, first, we always want to tell you that we care about you. We love you. We just appreciate you all so much. But what we end with is a big be bold on the count of 3. And what that is a declaration to ourselves that when we are at the point of whether or not we do something and it's going to make us uncomfortable or we're going to have to change a little bit to do it, be bold, take the step, do the thing that makes you uncomfortable, because that's the area where you've experienced the best growth and the opportunities begin to present themselves. And we have the opportunity to really grow into the people that we are or that we want to be. So ready to say on 3 here?
Let's go it.
Okay. Well, we'll see you on Monday, and then we'll see you again for one more Friday on 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Be bold. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I was just looking for the where I'm ending here. Okay. Bye again.
See you.